And it seems that when something kind of piles up on me or something, that my blood goes up. Circulation is something that seems to be going and coming, and from that I just get nauseated, and I get like I'm asleep all over, and then my blood pressure goes up because, see, I go to a doctor and find out, and this Dr. Massengill always tells me what my blood is, and like if it goes up maybe to 190, well, I'm just out almost. I'm just so sick, I'm so nauseated, my head's hurting so bad. But usually I have had that. Last Sunday I got sick like that. And my mother and my sister came out there, and I never did go to the doctor that day, and I finally got better. And just got, back to, my head quit hurting, and I had some medicine for my head, and I took it, and I lay down and got still, and I got better. But then Monday, I got sick, and I just looked like I was by myself. And my husband, he teaches school, and he also does some farm work, and he goes to see about getting some hay. Well, I just got sicker and sicker, and I got to the doctor. My sister came, and I said, you just have to carry me to the doctor. And he didn't take a kidney specimen, and then he took my blood pressure and told me it was 190. And he gave me a Demerol shot and something to counteract nausea. And I went on to my sister's, and wasn't too long getting better, but it just kind of left me, how a shot will leave me. And I came up here Tuesday night, and I slept all night Tuesday night, and I apparently got along pretty well yesterday. And this hand, I broke my finger 2 weeks ago today. Got it in an electric mixer, and my finger hurt me some yesterday, and I had to take on medication for that. But other than that, I just take my regular medication, and I slept all night. The nurse said when she looked in on me, if I was awake anytime, she didn't know it, and I didn't know it either. And I woke up feeling all right this morning, feeling a lot better than I did. And it seems like it's an allergy a lot of times that I'm around people that smoke. I'm around dust, or sometimes when I change temperatures. In my nose, it gets irritated, and it seems like that starts a headache with me a lot of times. And sometimes that headache will just leave a little while, and sometimes it just lasts me a pretty good while. And I've had this hurting in the back of my neck some, and up in the upper part of my head, in this back part of my head. And I don't know, I thought maybe, I'm a school teacher, and I taught school for 26 years, and my husband and I had been teaching in the same school together down in Brookhaven. And it was time for school to start, and I felt a little, I don't know, how you would feel, you might not know, but anyway, of something that you'd always been doing. And I had been asked to take a school. I could have got my place back there, or I could have got a high school English place at one of the larger schools in our county, Lincoln County. But I talked to Dr. Hamilton about it, and he didn't think it was best for me to go back. He didn't feel like I was up to it. I had been for consultation on Wednesday that's 2 weeks ago, before I cut my finger on Thursday. And he seemed to think I was doing, making progress. But he still told me, he wouldn't, try teaching, not now. And 2 or 3 times I had pus on the kidneys. I really get nauseated a lot. 2 or 3 times I'd have pus on the kidneys, and then I wouldn't. Maybe I'd check my urine. I wouldn't. When I came up here in the spring, I did for 2 or 3 days, and it soon cleared up. And I don't seem to be mixed up about anything. Well, when I was at the St. Dominic last year, Dr. Hodges was my regular doctor, and he's the one. He was on vacation, and he had Dr. Stevenson had one of the Neals to come over. Both of them, I believe, came. And at first, they thought maybe they was going to. I guess they thought all my symptoms, everything, my sickness might have been caused that because they hadn't examined. Well, they kept me there about 4 or 5 days. And they observed me, and they seemed to think that I just had they could see a touch of it here in this finger and in my shoulder. And they said all this other that I had was nervousness.
May I make an observation now, Mrs. Britt? I think it's probably obvious to you as it is to me, that you've been talking now a good while, mostly, in fact exclusively, about physical problems you have,
Yes, sir.
about pains in various parts of your body, physical ailments,
Yes, sir.
medical doctors. The only time you ever mentioned anything in the emotional sphere, let us say, was to assure me that you had no problems and that you weren't upset.
But see,
And
I
so
don't
we
say
have-
that I don't, but I don't know what,
I see.
I don't know what it is.
Yes,
My husband is good to me.
yes. How do you account then for your being here on the psychiatry service with all these physical ailments and no feelings of upset or being upset?
But I know I must be upset, doctor.
How do you know that?
I don't, well, why does my blood pressure go up like that? And why does getting me settled down didn't get me out better?
So you feel there's some relation to the way you feel inside and your blood pressure and things like headaches and
Well,
other physical
there
things.
must be. It must be, partly. It must be emotional.
Yes.
And I wish I could put my finger on it, but
Let's see.
I can't.
Well, you say you're not feeling upset now. Now you feel
But
calm.
when I come to a doctor, when I go to a doctor,
Yes.
it makes, I don't feel the same that I do outside.
Is that right? You mean
That's
going to a doctor?
Going to a
itself?
doctor, as much as I've gone to Dr. Hamilton,
Yes.
it's been about two, and I thoroughly respect him, and I think he's done me a lot of good.
So
Lots good.
just seeing a doctor in itself is enough to calm you down. Is that right?
You mean kind of upsets me sometimes?
Does it?
Mm-hmm.
Well, when all these physical things began to bother you again, were you feeling upset at the time?
Let me see if I get just what you mean now. Well, I'll tell you this. I can get sick in a crowd. I can get sick by myself, seem like, or I can get sick with just one or two people, and I can't put my finger on it. What makes me
I mean, it just happens to you?
seem like it just happens to me.